Loko-chan. Hi, Red Candy Guy. Hi, Chase. Welcome to another Higurashi stream. This is Brian Rose Smith, live from the Forbidden Library. And it is Higurashi Day. As you can see, Higurashi's a bit bigger today. Because I got that 7th expansion mod thing in that was suggested last Higurashi stream. And I gave it a wee test as well, and it looks really good. Unfortunately, I can't quite get access to the old sprites because of it, or at least I haven't figured out how to do that. But at least we all now know who's talking. I also don't have to have an extra background on my stream anymore, because it's wide now, which is wonderful. Now... Oh, I pressed the wrong button again! Fuck! I didn't mean to press start. I didn't mean to press start. I didn't mean to press start. I didn't mean to... Escape! 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 I didn't mean to press start. I meant to press... Oh, fucking hell. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? Whenever that was 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago. I'm rotating Higurashi so that I can stream other things. Exit! There we go. Because I want the chance to stream other things, and having lots of long games means I get stuck streaming the same things over and over again. And variety is the spice of life. So what happened last time? So things have started to get a wee weird. Hey Zoe! Rena was weird on us, and Keiji's getting real paranoid now. And we can load. Yeah. And look! It's all a little different today. Not sure, sorry. Weep, 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 weep. Okay, so I can't use the space button, because that just makes it disappear. That way? Aha, there we go. There had to be some keyboard button for it somewhere. Cameraman ripped out with their nails. Yes, the camera ripped out his own throat with his nails. Yes, that happened. We've had a murder. The lady he was with has disappeared, and this seems to follow a pattern that happens every year around the festival that this happened. And Rena seems to think that she's next for some reason. I was saddened by her denial and felt a bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I appreciate they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone's worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what meant to be friends, right? For a moment I wondered just what kind of face I was making then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance. Something going on. Why can't I see the backgrounds? It did say my save files might go a bit wonky if I loaded this mod, so we might actually be better off potentially trying a new game. Oh, I didn't mean to quit the whole thing. God damn it, whoopsie doopsie. I meant to just quit the loaded game. Oh, scuff. Scufferson. Yeah, maybe I didn't test it well enough. I thought because the Rena turned up, I thought this was a flashback. But maybe not. Could I explain this game? Let's just load this a hot sec, and then I'm just gonna let me do something. I thought it was intentional too. I'm just gonna press the skip button and see if it loads any backgrounds. Oh, there we go. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it was intentional, I'm not sure. I just wasn't sure if I broke it with the mod. So this is a visual novel game, so it's basically just me reading. And Keiji has moved to the new town of Hinamizawa. And it's this really small town, everyone knows each other, and it's all totally normal and fine, and there haven't been routine murders every year, and there hasn't just been another one where a person they know clawed out their own throat. I think that's a good description. Keiji, can you make it to your face? Why is that? And then they go home. Okay, and then he goes home and then he should have the call, so maybe... Because I'm pretty sure he went home after having a weird bit with Rena. Then the police chief called and told him about some more stuff. So let's see if that happens. Keiji-kun, you're tired? Maybe? Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made this situation even more unsettling. Yes, grass. Touch it. Pat it. You think so? Yeah. You seem to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold? Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Rena continued to give her answer. Yeah, I feel like we've done this. I feel like we might have skipped a bit. Or it's gone backwards. Yeah, we've had this scene. Hi, Michael, which is also Zoe, if I remember correctly. Are you double accounting for some reason? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've had this scene. And then... Yeah, because she explained her sort of experience moving to Hinamizawa, because she thinks that maybe Keiji's just getting along with it. Yeah, this is there something everyone is keeping from me? This is the Rena scene, we get to have it again. I would press skip, but I don't think it's going to let me. So we're just going to have to manually skip a little bit to get back to where we were. Ah! This is a worse version. Oh no! Oh no! We have CGs and stuff now. Oh no! Oh no! The quality. Oh no! Hey, to make view goes up. Fair dues. View go up. Briny comes successful. I won't argue. That's what you wanna do. Spoopy Rena-chan is about to yell at you. Oh lordy, this is gonna be so much more creepy to read now. I'm glad we got to see this. Cat windows. Correct. Everything's fine. Yeah, so we had that scene. Bop. Who was that person? It was Rena. It's just you being weird, Cage. It's just you being weird. Okay, so this is the scene we were actually on when we stopped. I knew something would go wrong installing the mod halfway through, but hey-ho. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who looked like Rena. Then who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling, knowing that there was someone else, not Rena. So tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should... Yeah, we kind of had this scene too. I don't want to reread stuff. I want new stuff. Oh yeah, and then like Oshi calls them because he's like, I'm the man from the bookstore. And it's like, no, it's just me, the detective. I didn't want to worry your parents. Denial's a crazy drug. And then he tells him about the other kid that got spirited away. No, the kid who died on like human-eating monsters. Yes, the Oni Kagushi, which is the name of the chapter. Does that make sense? Go. We read this bit. Oh, we read this bit. Yes, my Ibada-san. It's actually the same scenario. The wife supposedly threw herself to the bottom of the swamp and said, yes, so it's like the woman disappears, a dude dies and a woman disappears. After he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. It's still under investigation as to when. Who was it? Who went missing? No idea, but most likely the perpetrator. Blah 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 blah. And we find out it was Satoshi that went missing last year. In last year's incident, someone died and Satoshi went missing. So to summarise events, the first year was the dam employee. The second year was the wife of the dam supporter. The third year was the wife of the Shinto priest. Fourth year was the victim's child. And fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. Doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. With the exception of first year wives and girlfriends does stand out. It doesn't seem like there's a lot. Then that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, it's parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitaki told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. The child that went missing was in fourth year. Who were they? Apparently he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. His name was Satoshi Hojo-san. Da, da. Wait, I don't need to make that noise. I have it here. Hojo. Satoko's brother. Huh? Satoshi? I'm surprised there are so many living here when there's a yearly tradition of someone going missing. But locals are pretty okay most of the time. As long as they are good and don't piss off their god, I'm sure they're fine, right? I remembered that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believed that my seat I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then, where I sat, once belonged to who was demoned away? It was his seat! I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. This string of mysterious deaths. No. Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation and feeling of Oyashiro-sama's curse in the back of my neck. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Yeah, don't move there and don't visit there around that time and you'll be fine, right? Right? Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it. I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. You have like 3 devices open, so... Sweet. Thank you? Question mark? But the more I dug into it, the less likely that it seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, just transfer right after death, move out, and before your time, then move back. Yeah, but that didn't help one of the couples, because one of the couples wasn't even in Hinamizu at the time. It's just they were connected to the dam. They were on holiday at the time and they still got caught, so it doesn't help you to move. If I kept digging, eventually I'd reached the point where I'd learned something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser or seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. That was when I remembered. Rena. Rena said she may be the next victim of the curse. You mean Rena Ryugu-san? She transferred in last year. She's your classmate, isn't she? Yep, guess you'll die then. Just don't go there. Just don't ever go there. And there'll be no reason for you to be targeted. These incidents might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. 'Cause girls. She's not just scared, is she? It wasn't that. I mean, it's obviously too much for bloody Keiji as well, isn't it? Because he's scared too. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt like she was convinced. Almost as if, you could say she was frightened. Her sudden change in demeanour. That someone who looked like Rena but wasn't Rena. Hello, Cyril. Welcome. That might be unrelated. All the strange things I felt from Rena today came back to me. I see. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryugu-san, Mayabara-san. Are you asking me to keep Rena under surveillance? That's not what I mean, Mayabara-san. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock, knock. A sudden knock at my door set my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. I mean, Spirit might be going for a double kill this year. So many victims, so little time. So Keiji has a reason to be scared. He kinda does. The person who looked like Rena, but isn't Rena, is actually Rena, but not Rena, but yes Rena, but no Rena, but who Rena, but where Rena, but why Rena? Keiji, get the door, please. On the other side of the door, it was his dad, sorry. Keiji, get the door, please. On the other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it there for tonight? Yeah. My apologies again for calling so late. If you find out anything else, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Well then, have a pleasant evening. Keiji, hurry up and open up. Is this before or after Hiroshima and Nagasaki? After, as far as I know. Daddy's already got his hands full. What is Dad doing? I stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea. A fairly fancy spread for our household. There were even sugar and lemon slices on the side. Everything you could ask for. This is quite the show of hospitality. What? What's going on, Dad? What's all this for? Come now, don't play around, Keiji. I'm coming in. I knocked first to respect your privacy, but I'm coming in anyway. Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I'd never seen him act hospitable. What had gotten into him? So, what were you talking about? Who can give me the 1-sentence Cliff Note version of what this game is? Visual novel. Happy town. Totally nothing wrong. Not murders every year. Don't know what you're on about. I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father, but how could I explain to him I was talking to a detective, I'm assuming he was, this late at night? No, nothing much. Just a friend. I don't mean the phone. She was here, wasn't she? Rena-chan. She wasn't here. Oh, come now. Don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but it looks like I just missed her. I had no idea what Dad was talking about. But a cold sweat dripped down my back. How long were we talking? Rena-chan went upstairs about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess. You saw her come up to the second floor? Yeah, I did. I told her that your room was the door down the hall at the stairs. Rena came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the second floor. I probably didn't hear him because I was focused on my conversation with Oshi-san. I didn't reply. But he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Then told her my room was on the second floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs, and about an hour passed. She passed by my dad as he was bringing up the tea and left. She came upstairs, and about an hour passed. Then passed my dad and returned home. Then she came upstairs, and until she left, there was... Rena? There's only a short hallway between my room and the stairs. Meaning, Rena had, for about an hour, been in the hall. No. She couldn't have been standing there in front of my door all that time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything that was being said inside. All the unsettling and unguarded things I spoke to Oshi-san about began to rush through my head. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up the studio. It's a mess again. Mum yelled at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes and looked at the floor down in the doorway where Rena had stood all that time. Just now, as I was talking to Oshi-san, with my back turned, Rena was standing a mere 6 feet away the whole time. All that time, in the dimly lit doorway. What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of black tea filled my room. Oh no! Oh no. This is going to be a very different experience reading this compared to without the mod. New tips! Notice from the police chief. Let's view those tips. Just talk to her forehead. Apply directly to the forehead. No, I'm pretty sure we read both of those. Oh, the model pop-up was on I don't know if it was a search notice. New tips. I'm pretty sure we read the more than 4 perpetrators one, but let's read the search notice one just in case. Jiro Tomatake, deceased. Residence in a cheap hotel in Shibuya. Yeah, we did read this one as well. I read this, can I not read this? I'd like to go back to the chapter select screen. Yeah, maybe it did. Let's see if I can go into like the all tips and see what we can find through that. Yes. Radio log. So, yeah, maybe things got a little messed up because of the mod, but hey ho. Let's do a save. Let's do a heckin' save. Let's do a continue. What fun are we gonna have at school today? Sleepy. Wow, that was a really big yawn, Katie-kun. Nah. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but it doesn't look like I can do it. Wait, this is again, I think this has been messed up again. Yeah, because this has happened before. Yeah, we read this. Oh no, the mods messed things up. Yeah, because this is when he learns about Rena, because he pretends to be asleep for a while. I know. Let's just double check. Let's not wake him up. Blah, blah, blah. I take it back. Excuse didn't sleep much. It was terrible. It was actually because of the conversation with Oisha in the afternoon. Didn't get much sleep. Spring down like this. Katie should get the hint already to get away from the town and Rena. But Ren is so cute. How could you ever leave her? Do not leave her. Yeah, we definitely read this. So let's skip through. I had it there. Yeah, because we've already talked about what Onikagushi is. Maybe I just need to get through the chapter again? And press this button as fast as I can! Blood! Chaos! And no reading! But Keiji lives with his parents, how could he move away? I mean, he could just run away. He could be an emancipated teen. Hey, the teacher has a sprite now! Why is the teacher so cute? Why does the teacher look as young as we are? How confusing. Greetings, folks. I'm attempting to get this working with the mod. I might have to... Can I like scroll through real fast? Yeah, I can. Yeah, and then Mion says no club. And then that's how we end up walking home alone with Rena, because they're like, oh well, if we're not clubbing, then we're gonna go shopping instead. And then a little bit of bullying of Satoko because I know, look at the speed of my reading. God, I wish I could read this fast. Yeah, and then he finds the card with Satoshi on it. I wish. I would get through my 10,000 books a lot quicker if I could read this fast. I'm genuinely very jealous of my friends that read very fast. They're the kind of people who can get through like 500 word books in one day, and like 200 page books in one sitting. It's bonkers. I wish I had that superpower. I like reading, but I'm not good at it. Did you say something? Yeah, and this, we just had this scene. Can I press the skip? Yeah, okay, so it's registered that we've had this scene. I can press the skip button on this. Oh, I wish my friends were faking it. I wish. Yeah, skip. 500 word book we should. Yeah, I meant pages. I knew someone would say that. Blah 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 blah. Na 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 na. Skipping pages in a book because it's silly, and I didn't realize that the mod would fuck this up so much. There we go. I got an achievement, so it might now have registered that I've actually done the chapter now. Yeah, there we go. There's the actual tips that we were supposed to get. Cool. Cool. We can actually move on now. July 1st, 1981. The Departments 1 through 12. Prefecture Police Headquarters. Director General XXX. To the Chief Constable and all facility managers regarding cases situated in Hinamizawa Village, notice. As cases in Shishibon City, Hinamizawa Village, have been reported by certain sections of mass media. What's the longest book I've read? Probably one of the constellations. Oh no, it was probably the Bleach light novels. They were fat books. They were some of the biggest books I've tackled, and I did it for Bleach. Most books tend to do scare me a little bit when they're very big. As it has drawn global attention, which is causing serious repercussions for the local residents. This has become a very serious situation. To protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents, the following notice has been issued. Not the Bible? Yeah, nah. I've been read the Bible to me, but I haven't physically read the Bible. Had that explained to me many a time as a child, that's for sure. 1. Designate the following criminal investigations as classified. Okinama Station, 1982, case number X. Hinamizawa Village housewife murder, dated June XX. Okinamiya Station, case number X. Hinamizawa Village student disappearance, dated June XX. 2. Non-disclosure information. Okinama Station, 1979, case number X. Hinamizawa Village Site Foreman murder, date June XX. Shira Station, 1980, case number X. Shirakawa Natural Park falling incident, dated June XX. Okinyum, yes, that is the correct pronunciation. My apologies to the Japanese. Okinomiya Station, 1981, case number 8. Hinamizawa Village Shinto priest's wife disappearance, dated June XX. Requesting self-restraint from each organization concerning the release of sensitive information. Please see attached reference materials 1, 2, and 3. Management, XX Prefecture Police Headquarters. Internal line, XXXX. Police Affairs Department, XXXX. Information. So basically the police are being super secretive about this because it's getting sensationalized in media, which is a big thing now. I heard on the radio. I know I still listen to radio. I drive, so you know, radio happens. But they were covering like TikTok getting too involved in police cases, and that like true crime fanatics are getting too close to police cases, and it's actually becoming a big problem. Yeah, don't play this if you hate cicadas. I'm gonna start a new save file, and then hopefully that will help with the issues I've been having. Right, new chapter please. That would be great. Let's not do the same chapter again. We're lucky that was a pretty short chapter. Oh good. Weariness and a headache. Not a very nice way to start the day. What's wrong, KG? You don't look so well. When did you go to sleep? It seems my mum had noticed my sullen state. Of course she did. She's your mother. It's her job. Yesterday, I kept on waking up in the middle of the night. People can't help interfering with police when drama shows lead them to come to random tips. Yeah. And apparently it was an interesting thing to hear about. Without a doubt, I felt a presence. I felt the presence of something standing in front of my door. I told myself repeatedly that it was my imagination and forced myself to try sleep. Except, not being able to stand it, I gathered up my courage and opened the door. Of course, there wasn't anyone there. You have to go, Atomic. No worries. Thank you for stopping by. See ya. Have a nice day. I think I did this 3 times throughout the night. Or maybe I just didn't remember doing it any more than that. I hope it's Pepsi Man. The Pepsi Man night demon. Even though I was able to get to the breakfast table without incidents, I still didn't feel at ease. It might be a cold. I don't really have an appetite. Why? Oh, you do seem a little warm. Well, can you make it to school? Technically, I did go to a school, but it was mostly self-study. Wouldn't matter much if I missed a day, would it? It could have been that I hadn't been feeling well for the last few days because I really did have a cold. If I took some medicine and got a day of rest, I might be able to greet everyone with a smile tomorrow. Gotta go. Okay, so thank you for coming. I appreciate it. TikTok, just people getting in the way of murders and recording themselves committing crimes. Yeah. Yeah. It's becoming an issue, apparently. It's very interesting to hear. I mean, I always get fascinated when it comes to things like that, because I'm like, wow. I know me as a content creator, like, I want to do things that are going to catch attention, but Jesus, the people things do for in the name of content is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Ding dong, it's her. Startled, I looked back and forth between the entrance and the clock. It was 10 minutes later than I'd usually meet up with Rena. It was Rena. Rena-chan came to get you. What are you going to do? Are you going to take the day off? Rena was a good girl. She might be somewhat quirky, but she was certainly cute. Yes, she is! The lunches she made were delicious, and she always looked out for me. Why should I be so scared of something like that? It wasn't Rena's fault. It was probably mine. It had to have been my cold. Just had to be. Right, don't forget, you also make content, so don't put your guard down is all I'm saying. I just get bonkers by what people will do to hurt other people with content, because a lot of the problem with the true crimey stuff is like, There are real people who are victims of that, and people are making content about horrible things that have happened to people's relatives. Just a bit of sense is all that's needed. I'll rest. Sorry. I'll go send her off for you. Mum headed to the door. I would have to pass the entrance to get back to my room. I didn't have the nerve to meet with Renna, so I wrapped myself in a blanket on the sofa and closed my eyes. I was so sleep deprived I quickly fell into a slumber. Empathy is very important. I had only intended to lie down for a bit, but it was noon when I next woke up. I called out to my parents, but they didn't seem to be around. On the table I found lunch prepared and a note. Mum and Dad apparently had driven off somewhere far away. How convenient! Yeah, I have been told I have too much sometimes. It's likely had to do with Dad's work. Something moist crit a bit about one of those crime reporting Dakotas. Yeah. They would be back for dinner, but it might be late. On the note it said, "The insurance card is in the cabinet. Take it and go to the hospital." Cool. There was also a well-drawn map to the hospital. Oh, that's right. I hadn't been there before, so I didn't know exactly where it was. I had a light lunch, although it really was just leftovers from the morning, and just in case I went to the hospital. I like how in Japan they seem to like go to the hospital for all sorts of things. I have nearly cried over spilled milk before, I'm not gonna lie. Like literally. Because we didn't have any other milk in, and I wanted a cup of tea, and I spilled all the milk, and then so I couldn't have the cup of tea that I wanted, and it was. It was a traumatic day. Normally, I'd never be here in the middle of a weekday, just walking around like this, feeling guilty. It was an odd feeling. Following my mum's map, I took a road I usually never used. After walking for a bit, the hospital sign came into view. Irie Clinic was written rather stylishly on the sign. Wait, insurance card and hospital for just a fever? Well, that's why like Japan's very different about it. They tend to they go to the hospital for much smaller things, from what I've heard. Anyway, I'm just making generalizations there. The clinic wasn't very big, but based on the scale of the rest of Hinamizawa, it was far too grand. This sounds more like the doctors than the actual hospital. This is a clinic. This is a GP. There was a parking lot and even a reserved spot for buses. They must be making a mint. Maybe it's hospital. I think it's because how centralized their hospitals are, or whatever. Maybe. I spaced out in the air-conditioned waiting room until it was my turn to be seen. Mayabara-san, please make your way to the examination room. Don't know, talking out your butt. Fair dues. Your butt is rather eloquent. After half-heartedly answering all the chatty doctor's questions, he responded with the old, "It's probably a cold." They gave me a shot and 3 days worth of medicine. I thought it was a little overboard, but if it would clear away the gloomy feeling I'd been having lately, then it was worth it. Is it a cold or is it depression? I settled the bill and took a quick trip to the washroom. As I was leaving, I overheard a conversation between some elderly people who seemed to be regulars at the clinic. Your bud is in fact bilingual? Impressive! It can speak in solids and liquids. Wonderful. Very impressive. Of course, I had no intention of eavesdropping, if it just wasn't for that word. Must have been an old Higurashi! I wonder. She was still pretty young. Might have just eloped. With whom? That man from Tokyo who visits every season. The young one with the big camera. Didn't you know they were getting along pretty well? They were talking about Tomitake-san. I could feel my ears perking up. Oh, I don't know about that. But you have to make preparations before you elope. Leave a note or quit your job or something. It's an elopement because they didn't leave a note or a message. Yeah, I know. It is weird for me to even have to go into a hospital and pay. I don't normally have to do that. The thought that she'll never see that young man's face again makes me rather sad. Tanako-san is an upstanding young woman. She'll be fine wherever she goes. So her name was Tanako-san. The village are not Brits, but well, I can't do an old Japanese lady voice, so they're just gonna have to be gossip old British ladies. Maybe they're foreigners that moved there. Who knows? That woman with Tomitake-san. And she worked at this clinic? Oh, Yashiro-sama's shadow was following me everywhere I went. You are a paranoid child. I started listening more closely, but they began talking about fishing, and it didn't seem like they were going to revisit the topic. I gave up and left. Villagers are making words and not heresy! Indeed, it's incredibly convenient that those two characters happen to be British. I mean, yeah, that's how it works, right? Thus, even though I was separated from the daily monotony of school, I wasn't able to escape Onyashiro-sama's shadow. But of course, Onyashiro-sama was the garden deity of this place, of Hinamizawa. As long as I was in Hinamizawa, I wouldn't be able to escape. Well, speaking of cold, I think I'm coming down with one at the moment. That's what I get for going outside, I guess. Maybe it was because I was walking outside, but my appetite suddenly returned. I might as well buy a snack with the change from the examination fee on the way home. Contemplating that, I turned onto a familiar street. At that moment, I heard a car horn abruptly honk behind me. Was I really walking so far into the middle of the road that I was in the car's way? I moved further off to the side, but the horn was still honking at me. I turned around, peeved. Mayabata-san! Good day to you! It was Oshi-san. He stepped out of his car, AC on full blast, and waved to me. What's up today? School on break? Nah, just not feeling well, so I took the day off. I was about to go buy lunch and head back home. That's great! I'm just about to get lunch myself. Would you mind going together? Ah, if you're not feeling up to it, then don't mind me. Smash! Kid's dead. Well, Brownie's next on the list for the curse, it seems. Starts with a cold and a sudden case of dead. Oh no. I don't want to die. I was just gonna lie down after going home anyway. And I didn't really have a cold. I expect you're rather rather avoiding using one of the local places. Let's go to town. It's a bit of a drive, is that alright? I know a pretty good place. I finally begun to understand Oshi-san's roundabout way of saying things. He probably wanted to talk to me about stuff that would be difficult to discuss while in Hinamizawa. Oji-san looking like Oji-san. I went with Oji-san riding Oshi-san riding in his frigid car. It was almost as if the bright sunlight outside was a lie. I'm sorry about calling you so late last night. Did your parents get angry at you? No. I recalled Rena, who had been listening to the phone conversation all that time, separated from me by just the door. Even now, in the brightness of the sunlight, the thought still creeped me out. With a big bump that jolted even car, the road connecting the city changed from dirt to pavement. Oishi means delicious. Oshi is probably just a word. There's very subtle differences in Japanese. It's like kawaii and kawaii. Kawaii. Very similar. It's like there's like one eye's difference. It's bonkers. My head swiveled back with the sudden realization. That's right. This is where Tomitake-san died. And they've had a snag on their investigation regarding Tomitake-san. Oishi spoke, while peering at me from the corner of his eyes. They believed it was caused by hallucinations, given how he was clawing out his own throat. But a drug that could cause that to happen so suddenly is extremely hard to come by. Yes! Opai and opai! Bear in mind, of course, the autopsy was done with that premise in mind, but we didn't find any leads. Could get worse, got yes, and yes. Oh, we do. We also have the F word, which is the most versatile word in the English language. You know that thing you see in comics all the time? Well, there's a drug that doesn't leave any traces after being consumed. I am gullible. Yay! It exists. Succinct child something or other. You did get me to say the word. Well done, Fox. You got me to say titty. Well, it's pretty common. You see, there doesn't seem to be any kind of drug that would cause Tomitake to react like that. Then you're saying the police concluded Tomitake-san just died from the curse? I couldn't help but feel the police were worthless. I just wanted the idea of the curse to be disassociated from Tomitake-san's mysterious death. Yeah, this Shimachi cookie. Unfortunately, that's how it looks right now. But putting aside the cause of death, without a doubt he was surrounded by a group of people and had taken a beating before he died. That was no curse, but an incident that unquestionably involved other humans. That made me a bit relieved. My totally family friend... 40! 33! Take a fucking 10 years off that, you stupid pumpkin! Meh. We passed in front of the rather desolate, but still busier than Hinamizawa station. The car pulled into a restaurant parking lot, and I followed Oishi-san into the shop. It was pretty crowded, but there were only adults at this hour. Of course, there couldn't have been any children here middle of the week and a weekday. 30! I suppose no, I can't let you think I'm 13 either. I would like to say, oh yeah, I'm totally 13. But I can't really let you think that one either, because otherwise I would get in a lot of trouble for what I've said. No, I'm an adult. I'm a woman. I am a woman. A certified adult with a... You're so rude. You're all so rude. Ha! 66.5. 13 would cause a lot of legal issues. I can't prove that I'm a woman. No! I will prove that I'm a woman by being smart enough to say frickin' no! Besides, can you not see this beautiful womanly form? It's a beautiful womanly form with clear feminine features. Oh no, I moved that. I moved things I shouldn't have moved. I know. Now I can't get back to my place. Oh no. I was too busy throwing off my womanly wiles. I gotta get it. I gotta stop. No, that's how I've done it. Okay, I understand. What's feminine these days? I don't know. Gender's a construct. Gender's a social construct. I have no idea what feminine is. I like to think I am, and that's about it. That's the label I picked. How about you guys? It was pretty crowded, but I'm an adult. Why am I zoomed? Because I had to prove that I was a woman. For very important reasons, I was zoomed in. I know, could be AI still, gotta be careful nowadays. Fair enough. Welcome back, Zoe. Welcome back. 2, please. I'll take mine. I'll make do with non-smoking. This way, please. Oh yes, back in the day when you had non-smoking and smoking tables in restaurants. I'm also open to the idea that you're made out of jello as well. I am a slime. When you're ready to order, please call me over. We were led to a peculiarly dressed waitress to our table. I sat with Oshi-san in a booth. So what do you think? On the waitress's outfits, they're cute. Okay, next time I have to prove something to someone, I just get really close to them. Yeah! If you just get really close and scream in their face, that's... No, don't do that. Do not do that. When is the setup tour? Like showing you how I set up for stream? That's... Ooh, that's a good idea. However, I have to say that would 100% be Patreon content. You have to pay me for that. I don't think we can romance Oshi. Oishi. Huh? Well, I guess. This shop is always quite busy. It's more about the waitresses than the food, you see. Uh-huh. I'm the reward. No. I don't know. No, my PC, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to show off my PC. It's my PC. No one else gets to see it. But like I said, I've told you that my PC's name is Foe from Grand Order because it is a beast of humanity. It is mine. Am I really... Weird old man. No! My PC. Only I have the right to bear witness to the beast of humanity that is my PC. It's probably not even that much of a beast anymore, to be honest. It's fairly new, but the PC world goes quick. Presents. It would kind of make sense if the library was a dungeon. That's why it's never ending and keeps changing. No! Regardless of how the waitress looked, the food was decent enough. Finishing our meals while talking about some inane topic, Oshi-san, after a meal cup of coffee, arrived at the table. Sorry, I need to blow my nose. Let me mute myself with that because it's gross. It's gross. Okay, we're back, and so if you spam please, you'll just end up in timeout. Because your answer is no, and it will forever be no. Ha 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 ha. Oh, did I not unmute myself? I did unmute myself. I wasn't nomming on something, I was blowing my nose. Yeah, boo-boo. You can boo all you want. It's my channel, my rules. I get... my beast of humanity is shy, okay? They don't want to be on stream. They don't want to be shown to people. They did. It was very strange. Yeah, that it was the village of man-eating demons or something like that. I didn't know much about that myself, so I asked my mother about it this morning. Oshi-san took out the notepad that was stuffed into his breast pocket. You can boo on multiple accounts all you want, so... Turns out that Hinamizawa used to be called Onigafuchi. The demons of the abyss. Onigafuchi. It's quite an interesting name. The name is still around. The swamp where the Shinto priest's wife drowned herself is still called Onigafuchi. That is a good point. It's said that the depths of the swamp connect to the realm of demons. Of course, nobody told me anything about such an ominous swamp. And you see, it appears they were both feared and revered. A respect born from fear? I guess you could say it was a kind of deification. A village of inhuman creatures. Seems the demons were seinen, or mountain-dwelling mystics of sorts. Villagers with incurable illness would be taken to Onigafuchi to be healed, for example. Yeah, it is a little bit. I physically can't move that right now because it may or may not be part of my whole ass background. Like this, see? I can't do it. So I may have to edit it slightly because that's happening in Ruiner. No one's really complained about it until now, though, to be fair. Isn't this town the village? Folks going from dirt to concrete roads to signal a change. Yeah, pretty much. Even if we were calling them demons, Tengu, long-nosed goblins, or Saline would be more of an apt description. They don't seem like such terrible people, even though they were called demons. But they were still man-eating demons. According to the story my mother told me, as payment for treating the son's illness, "Let us eat the mother who brought him here," was apparently how things went. The price of curing her son was herself? That's unsettling. Of course the mother took her son and ran. Then you see all of the villagers, Onigafuchi, the demons, chased and surrounded and captured them. The entire village, apparently. That's quite a frightening thing to imagine. In the end, it seems both mother and son were caught and eaten. Hobnob. The end. There's a problem with this story. Both witnesses in the story were eaten, so nobody will be able to tell the tale. Huh? There are plenty of old fables like this. In contrast to the ghastly tale, Oshi-san laughed heartily while sipping his coffee. But well, there are quite a few other tales, where the demons from Onigafuchi band together to capture their prey. I recalled that Mion said the villagers united and fought against the dam construction. I saw similarities with how that part of the unification overlapped. They would always hunt down a single person, and they would choose who it was going to be beforehand. Huh? That caught my attention. Oshi-san appeared to be pondering what that meant. My mother told me that you must never interfere with the demon's hunt. You should just hole up in your house and hide under the covers, she said. So what does all this mean? It means you mustn't ever help or protect their prey. As long as you don't disturb the demon's hunt, no harm will fall upon the village. It seems there's that kind of rule. Basically, don't help the victims. Pretend you didn't see the atrocities, in other words. What happens if you break the rule? Well, they're man-eating demons after all. This old man really needs to kind of leave this poor boy alone. He is so in his head. Many parts of that tale caught my attention. Parts of the story he told me overlapped with his theory that the entire village was in on the crime. Even if it wasn't the whole village, it was conceivable that the villagers were hiding under the covers and leaving them to die? When there's a group that was on the hunt? Was it? I didn't dare speak it. Then, Oishi-san, I guess it looks like it's either the entire village or a group of villagers perpetrating the crimes. What do you think, Mayabara-san? Ah, excuse me. Another cup of coffee, please. That's what I wanted to know. It seemed that we were both waiting for the other to say the last part. Yeah, instead of investigating a serial murder case, you should just hide away. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you should, really, if you're not a police officer. This man just wants to scare someone today. Hardly got anyone to terrify in a cursed village. Yeah, and he's just picked this one child. He waited for the waitress to finish pouring coffee before speaking. Last year, I had a nagging feeling when Satoshi-kun disappeared. Oshi-san muttered as he watched the milk swirl in his coffee. So those friends of Satoshi-san, meaning your group of friends, Mayabara-san, had a bit, really just a little bit, okay, of background checking done on them. No, I'd rather be alive than a hero, thanks. I am a coward. If Oshi-san had said this to me before, I would have gotten angry at him for calling my friends into question, but as it was now, I couldn't. This might sound pretty stupid. Mayabara-san, if you feel it's stupid, please say so. I'll just stop. Oishi-san was wearing the most serious expression I'd ever seen from him. It was as if he was telling me to prepare myself and listen. There were quite a few things I regretted hearing from Oishi-san, but none of them were as threatening as this. A little voice inside me was screaming like an alarm. Stop, Keiji. This was probably the last one. I took a deep breath and, like a fucking idiot, silenced that voice. I would not run from the truth. Please. That was all I could utter. Oishi-san stared into my eyes silently for a few moments. After that, after he was certain I was ready, he began. The victim of the incident in the first year was the overseer. A few weeks prior, he had an altercation with Mion Sonozaki. Multiple altercations. Oishi-san had said that Mion had defied the dam project vehemently. Well, it wasn't hard to imagine how she got that worked up. In the second year, the married couple who supported the project died in that accident, right? Their daughter was with them at the time. Her name is Satoko Hojo-san. Huh? Satoko? Meaning Satoko? Oishi-san's look told me that my voice was too loud. I realized as well and quickly quieted down. The Shinto priest and his wife who died in third year, you see. Their daughter is Rika Furude-san. Rika-chan was the housewife who died in the fourth year. You know already, don't you? It was step-aunt of Satoko Hojo-san. She was in her aunt and uncle's custody, as she had lost both her parents in the accident. She lived in the victim's house. I could tell my lips were getting dry. I didn't even have the wits to keep my mouth from hanging agape. I had thought it was nothing but a bizarre incident, one that I could easily distance myself from, but clicking and clacking, it had snuck all the way to my feet. The one who disappeared fourth year, by the way, he was Satoko-san's older brother. What? Just, wait a second. It took everything I had to finally say that. I gulped down a glass of water and once again wiped my face with a napkin. Calm down, Keiji Mayabara. But Oishi-san was relentless. Instead of waiting me to finish sorting out my feelings, he started speaking again. The last thing I shouldn't have heard. All of the victims seem to be connected to your group of friends. That has to be a coincidence. Mayabara-san, keep it down. Everyone's looking. Mion, Satoko, Rika? So what if they're connected? You're telling me all my friends? Couldn't be. It just couldn't be. Oh, Rena is different, isn't she? Rena isn't connected with the victims at all. Rena Ryugu was living in the suburb of Ibaraki Prefecture up until last year. Well, it's true she hadn't directly met any of the victims, he said in a roundabout way. Is he saying she's also connected? Actually, I looked into Ryugu-san. Before Ryugu-san moved away to Hinamizawa, she was suspended from school. It seems she went through her school buildings and broke all of the windows. Rena did that? She broke all the windows at her school? That same spacey Rena had? I couldn't even imagine it. It seems that after her 3-day suspension, she didn't return to school. She went to a neurologist and was diagnosed with dysautonomia. She was given weeks of counseling and medication. I wonder if it's something like a nervous breakdown. I'd heard it happen to people who are really methodical or overly sensitive. Bro! How did I make that sound Japanese? I don't know, because I'm too used to trying to pronounce Japanese things, I guess. You have to hop off Atomic? Fair enough. Have a nice time. Have a nice sleep. Kay learns what a sociopath is. Yay! Oh, I need to blow my nose again. 1 second. Okay, clear. Ish. Neither of those matched Rena's easygoing personality, and the counsellor's medical report recorded all of the conversations he had with Rena-san. It shows up. And quite a bit after that. What did... I pressed forward carelessly. There couldn't be anything more for me to regret. She mentioned the word Oyashiru-sama. It felt like some stone-cold hand was caressing my back. Why had Rena spoken of Oyashiru-sama before she even came to Hinamizawa? Seems that Onishiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost appearing in her house every night, standing over her pillow, looking down at her. Praying I will sneeze. I'm not sure you'll get that. You're definitely getting kind of congested, Bryony, that's for sure. My mind froze. I couldn't process what I was being told. A while after that, she moved to Hinamizawa. Ah, that's right. She's not an outsider. Huh? According to their residency register, the Ryugu family used to reside in Hinamizawa. They moved to Ibaraki just as Rena entered elementary school. My mind went completely blank. It was similar to the static you'd see on a blank TV channel. My ears ringing as I lost all sense of comprehension. Maibara-san, are you alright? Shall we stop? Those words brought me back. I couldn't let it end here. Now I know about Rena. Then, how about the last victim, Tomitake-san? Who was he connected with? Irritated, I let out one final reprisal. All of them. Have you forgotten, Maibara-san? Didn't you also spend the night of the festival together quite merrily? Quite a few officers saw you enjoying yourselves. Now there was nothing I could respond with. I felt silent as my brain turned to mush. We should get going. Ah, Mayabara-san, did you take your afternoon medicine? Oh, I've completely forgotten about the medicine I'd gotten until she said that. I got another glass of water and we left the shop after chugging it down. Waiting for the wrong second, Renna peeking from the corner. Just watching. Waiting. Hunting. We got in the car and returned to Hinamizawa via the rough road. I never really paid attention when I was on my bike, but did cars normally shake this much? It's almost as if the road was desperately trying to tell me something. Ba-dump. A big jolt from the difference in elevation from the road when it changed from the cement to dirt. I was certain I heard Tomitaki-san's scream. I sat in silence, just letting myself be shaken by the car. I'll drop you off at your house. You missed school because you were ill, correct? My apologies for the long conversation. Why did you talk to me? I blurted out the question. Yes, it is tagged under psychological horror. Really, just blurted it out. I didn't expect an answer. I did check with you first, didn't I? If we should just stop. Not that! Why did you reach out to me? I understood quite well that Oshi-san was investigating this string of suspicious incidents. Why was he telling me all this? I knew nothing. I couldn't help. Everything Oshi-san spoke of was news to me. First of all, what could I, having just moved here, possibly know? By chance, if there was a reason for Oshi-san to reach out to me, then it would have to be that I was a part of Mion's circle of friends who looked suspicious to Oshi-san. I'm retiring this year. Fun fact, Getting Over It by Ben Froddy is tagged under psychological horror. Is that because of the sheer salt it gives people? The brain hemorrhaging that comes from that game. Sharing the tag with Diablo 4 for the mental damage. Correct. I'm retiring this year. I plan to move away after retiring, as my mother wants. So while I'm still in the case, I want to bring the truth behind this incident to light. So, Oshi-san, you suspect them, don't you? All of them. I've never actually played it. Oshi-san didn't give a response. It felt a little late, but I thought it was his way of showing a bit of consideration for my feelings. This is mostly my intuition from 30 years behind this job. You beat it 50 times? Holy duck. Well done. You officially got over it. This is most Mayabara-san. You're the one in danger. Huh? I wanted to reply with, that's absurd, but in my downtrodden state, I couldn't bring myself to say it. I'll be retiring this year, so I won't be at the Watakanashi next year. So I want to settle things. In other words, he was insinuating that on the next Watakanashi, I might be the next victim. Yeah. I'm retiring this year. This is my last case. The biggest death flag known to man. I've been warned by the chief as well. Each incident in the string of cases has been solved, so don't bring it up again. Also, I was told. This is the pressure that I'm facing. Pressure? From what? Someone in Hinamizawa. We've arrived. Is this fine? Before I retire, I want to traumatize the little boy. Job fucking done. I can be a bit bigger. You guys are like here, so I can just do that. There we go. Yay. After some time, the car finally reached the path to my house. The clock read 2 p.m. I was surprised. So little time had passed since we ate. How could you? He was only 2 days away from retirement! Yep. It was hot outside the car. The chirping of the Higurashi hurt my ears. I won't mind if you just forget everything I told you today. But I'm still gonna keep investigating. I'll end Oyashiro-sama's curse this year. So you're saying I should contact you if anything happens? It's fine. Just contact me when you feel you have to, Mayabara-san. I wasn't collected enough to understand Oshi-san's roundabout way of saying it. Be sure to take it easy. I'm sorry for throwing all this at you while you're taking the day off because you're sick. I didn't really give any sort of response. I'll always be on your side. If anything, believe that. I'll be off now. Guessing 6 days before his death. Betting $0 on it. The tires crunched over the dirt road as the car made a U-turn and disappeared into a cloud of kicked-up dust. It felt like I was watching a boat only throw me a lifesaver in shark-infested waters before disappearing into the distance. That was the first time I thought Oshi was being unfair. Telling me I was going to be the next victim, then just saying to contact him if something happened. This wasn't a criminal investigation. He was fishing. And I was just the bait dangling off the line. Would the fish be the perpetrator? Was it really Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, the bait would be swallowed whole. Damn it. I don't want to die. For some time, I could do nothing but stare at the puddle of water left behind by the AC from the car. He's got a half-decent head on his shoulders for how much he's been told about all this. And he puts things together pretty well. I wonder how much time passed since I laid down. It was getting dark outside. My body was soaked in sweat. It would probably be a good idea to change my sheets. At that moment, the phone downstairs rang. Pretty much. It was probably Mum. Mum was quite a worrywart. Maybe she called many times, I just didn't notice. Hello, this is Mayabara residence. Ah! He's alive! Hello! This is Mion. How you doing? Is this one of Keiji's friends? Keiji's resting right now, but shall I put him on? Huh? Is this his dad? Sorry. Idiot. You fell for it. Huh? Kei-chan! After our exchange, we both had a good laugh together. Except I was suspicious of her, even as we were laughing. Was everybody really involved with the incidents? In fact, the fact that I couldn't say no saddened me. I'm relieved that you seem well. Rena was really worried, you know. Satoko-chan was happy and said you got what you deserved. Rika-chan said, how unfortunate he's sick. Looks like everyone was making a big deal out of it. Well, you know, so, Kei-chan, Is now a bad time to come pay you a visit? A visit? No, it's okay. It's not like I'm dying. My grandma made a ton of mochi, you see. I was told to share them, so I'll bring some. Hey now, you'll catch my cold. Not to worry, both Renna and I are too stupid to catch a cold. Does that mean I'm smart if I'm getting a cold? I mean, what's the first rule of club? Do not do anything to win. Pretty sus. True. Even murder. See you. Be there in a bit. She hung up cheerfully. Renna's coming too. That was what it sounded like. I was still concerned about meeting Renna, but I guess if she was with Mion, then everything would be fine, right? Right? I heard the doorbell 10 minutes later. Yay! It's friendship! How you feeling? Did you take your medicine and rest? I did just that. Thank goodness, you look well. I was worried. Sorry, I'll be fine by tomorrow. Mion showed a complete lack of concern for someone who's recovering, and Renna looked like she was worried about me from the bottom of my heart. Mion's the oldest by a year or so, I think. But I think she's like last year of high school. It didn't look like there was anything behind those expressions. I thought we might hang out for a bit, but it looks like you're not quite in the condition for it. You don't say. It seems my face appeared a bit sullen. Then, here, Keiji-kun. These are the mochi Mi-chan's grandma made. Renna held out the package wrapped in a newspaper. There might be about 5 in here. That's quite hefty. Ah, thanks. Send my regards to your grandma, Mion. Yeah. Ah, there's one I made in there as well. I wonder if Keiji-kun can guess which one. Glad you held back your smash car. Yes, they are. They are all children. All children. This is Kei-chan's homework since he missed the club meeting today. There are letters on each mochi, so I'll ask you tomorrow. What? Were you checking if I was feeling better, or did you just come here for club activities? Yep, looking fine. Guess you'll be able to make it tomorrow. Man, what are you going to do if my fever comes back because of your shenanigans? Mi-chan, we shouldn't be making such a racket. Let's go. The other people here will get angry. Both of them thought my parents were home. It was because the entranceway was a mess. You're right. Let's get going. By the way, Kei-chan? Yeah? What did you eat for lunch? The sudden question startled me, and I went wide-eyed when I saw Mion. I've never seen her like that. It was a highly unsettling visage. But why is she asking me about what I ate for lunch? What she said was so inane, it was almost meaningless. The way she said it was almost like she didn't even care all about what I ate. I ate out. She must have suspected that I was with Oishi-san. Anyway, I felt that if I hesitated or tried to change the subject, then they'd read too deep into it, so I tried answering as quickly as possible. Except contrary to the efforts I made, There was a pause before they replied. So you ate out for lunch, Keiji-kun? The glimmer from Rena's eyes had changed at some point as well. It was now sharp, as if to make me feel the feigned ignorance behind her words even more. As if she already knew. That's how she looked at me. Well, was it good? Why are you asking me this? Mion was speaking in an unusually low tone. Almost as if she knew I had eaten at the restaurant in town. No, I'm overthinking this. I mean, both of them should have been in school at lunchtime. There's no way they could have known where I was. It seems you were with a rather austere-looking older guy. Who was he? Flop. The package with the mochi I was holding slipped out of my hands. I could tell the blood had drained from my face, making me go pale. Oh? Keiji-kun. Who was he? Could he be the first one from before? I wonder. I could feel the back of my throat going dry. This was no longer a bluff. They knew. Everything. How do you know that? It took everything I had to finally force those words from my throat. My knees were shaking. Because there's nothing this old man doesn't know. I think because I know of a bit more about this, I think I know why they know. But Mion sneered knowingly, and her laugh seemed to carry on forever. So Keiji-chan, what did you talk about? It seems like you got pretty worked up over it too. We weren't talking about you, Keiji! The worst way to keep a secret. We weren't talking about you! Honestly, I swear! It didn't have anything to do with you or Rena. Isn't that a bit strange to hear our names come up, even though nobody asked about that? Rena's unwavering gaze pierced through my eyes and peered further inside me. I dug my own grave. My heart was throbbing so much, it felt like it was going to explode. Well, whatever you're trying to hide, this old man sees through it all. Remember that. I couldn't even shake my head. It took everything I had to stop my teeth from chattering. She never let her gaze break from mine, even as she tilted her head slightly. Keiji-kun, you don't look too good. I think you should lie down. That's true. We should both head back home. As if nothing happened, they both giggled at each other and started making their way out. I hadn't moved a muscle since I dropped the package of mochi. As they left, the door slowly closed behind them. All I could do was stare. As if I couldn't move until the door was completely closed. Honestly, considering all the weird stuff they do in school, I'm not surprised they're a bit psychotic. I don't think they are. It's just how Keiji's seeing it. They're two friends that have heard that their friend who was supposed to be sick, was spotted in a restaurant with an older guy who seemed to have got him worried about something. Now think about what they said in that situation. and ask yourself if it really is so weird that they asked about it and thought it was weird that their names came up. If anything, it's weird they didn't carry on. Ah! See you, Kei-chan. Yeah. I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow, alright? Yeah, it's just Keiji's perspective. Thud. Yeah, I didn't expect that. I forgot about that bit. The door closed. That's... Fox, dude, you have a taste, that is for sure. I wasn't able to move a muscle. After their low laughter died off into the distance and silence once again enveloped the room. That isn't... Think about it, like... It's the way he's hearing, it's the way I'm reading it. If I read that as, see ya, Keiji, I'd really hate for you to miss tomorrow, then you might not find that weird. And kids would do stupid shit, like looking through like that. Honestly, this whole thing could be twisted to be not that weird. It's the bit after this that can't be, that I'm not going to justify for them. Quieted out of your own free will. Good for you, Fox. Coming back to my senses, the first thing I did was lock the door. Smart. I knew what Oshi-san talked about. Why? How? No, that wasn't important. Thinking about it, all of it could have been overheard. From the beginning, when me and Oshi met me, just as Mion said, I couldn't hide anything. Then, what were they trying to tell me? That part was obvious. They were warning me not to say anything unnecessary. What did they deem unnecessary? I only talked to Oshi-san about one thing, and they were warning me that was unnecessary? What was it that Oshi-san talked to me about? Incidents involving Onyoshira's curse that occurred every year weren't individual cases, but were connected as a whole? Fair enough. As well as the fact that there may be multiple perpetrators hidden within Hinamizawa. No, more precisely, that Mion, Rena, Satoko, and Rika were all suspicious. Is that what they were warning me against? What? What kind of nonsense am I thinking about? I hit my own face hard enough to let out a loud slap. If only that would wake me from this nightmare, but for some reason it felt like punching a blanket. It was almost laughably painless. Calm down, Keiji Mayabara. When did I become such a pessimist? Calm down. Calm down. Settle down and sort things out. The reason Mion knew I was eating lunch with Oshi-san was probably because someone from Hinamizawa happened to be there at the time. They must have told Mion I was there. That made the most sense. Plus, come to think of it, she didn't ask me where I ate lunch, did she? She only asked, was it good? They were just curious since I was together with someone not from Hinamizawa. Not as if they had any ulterior motives. Send a text to Grandpa. Yeah, they can't send a text to Grandpa. Cup, this is the 80s. They don't even have mobile phones. That's it. That has to be it. Thinking about it that way, it was the same with Rena. I was just being strangely ambiguous about when I met Oshi-san, and Rena was just correcting me on that. That's when I was bewildered by the change in character from the usual mild-mannered Rena and was just startled by it. That's the most natural way of thinking about it. I felt like my mind was mixed up in a tangled mess of spaghetti. Deep red marinara sauce would have poured out of my nose and ears if you squeezed my head. Easy mistake, I meant to tape paper to the phone and eat it. The guy early texts. Ye old texts. The thinking that, I suddenly felt like vomiting. I really didn't want that to happen, so I stopped holding my head. Lately, I had no idea what anyone was saying. Spending time with them was fun. Oh. It didn't feel like there was any sort of hidden agenda. I really do think that they're a good bunch of people. When I just moved here and couldn't make heads or tails of anything, they were really kind to me. Rena was really kind and always looked after me. As long as that strange affliction didn't rear its ugly head, she was pretty cute. Mion is also a really good person. She didn't care about anyone's age or gender and was optimistic and outgoing. There is a bit of sniffling. I may be coming down with a cold. The weather is starting to turn, and that usually does happen at this time of year. But don't worry, I'm taking plenty of cold and flu and looking after myself. I'll be okay. I was never bored with her. And talking of not getting bored, the rambunctious Satoko was a good person for that too. She was pretty bratty, but that was just her way, the way she interacted with others. Rika-chan was the same way. She didn't speak often, but that didn't mean she was always silent. They're my friends. I have had lots of tea. I don't have particular tea for colds, though. Though there are lemsips and things like that, I guess, which are tea for colds. But I tend to prefer my own tea. Wait, you can get berry ones, actually. I really like blackcurrant tea. Maybe I should get some blackcurrant lemsips. That would be great. I'm gonna be fine. I'm a VTuber. Exactly! I will just magically be better. It's fine. That or my slightly congested voice will be ever the more entertaining for you guys. Either way, it's a win for everyone. But after hearing the better untold stories of Hinamizawa from Oshi-san and Tomatake-san, I was told about Oyashiro-sama's curse. Things started going crazy. Then hearing from Oshi-san that Mion, Rena, Satoko, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. After that, everyone changed. That's right. It all started getting weird after Oshi-san told me all that strange stuff. At that time, I really should have just not listened to those weird stories. I shouldn't have even asked Tomatake-san about the past incidents on the night of Watakanashi. If I hadn't gotten that strange sense of curiosity, if I just hadn't. That's right. You gotta go, right, Candy Guy? No worries. Thank you for coming. I probably won't be going on for much longer anyway. We're getting to near the end of time. End of stream time, not near the end of time in general. That's right. That's why they murdered Tomatake-san. That impudent outsider, speaking to the likes of me after everybody went out of their way to keep it a secret from me. They'll probably kill Oshi-san too. For trying to unearth what everybody was warning me was better left buried. Besides that, he was unforgivable for spewing words that made me doubt others. Nope. Of course, a guy like that is going to be killed. Both Tomatake and Oshi-san were nothing but outsiders after all. They were entities who couldn't coexist with the people of Hinamizawa. Those guys should just fall under Oyashiro-sama's curse and just die. It wasn't their fault. It was my fault for not being able to hold back my curiosity. It wasn't their fault. 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 I settled into a daze. It was a lethargic feeling, like I had just gotten up, but there was an ominous chill that haunted me and subsided. I was fine now. I was no longer frightened. I had completely recovered. I'll go to school tomorrow, right as rain. I'll greet everyone. I'll take part in club activities. It'll definitely be fun. It had to be fun. I was one of them after all. Ah, that reminds me, I need to go eat those mochi. I hope I'm able to tell which one Rena made. I remembered the homework the two brought with them when they visited me. But whoa, our club did delivery. That's something else. I picked up the package and dropped on the floor and headed to the living room. That's the kitchen. Why did it say the living room? It would be nice to have some tea with it. To fill my mouth with mochi while drinking tea. Oh, this was quite a delectable situation I was in. Opening up the newspaper wrapping, there were 5 plump red bean paste stuffed mochis snugly fitting inside. There were letters written from left to right on the newspaper. A, B, C, D, and E. Now then, they said Rena made one of these, but which one? There wasn't much difference in how they looked. They smelled and appeared about the same. This was a pretty difficult problem. The biggest difference was probably their shape. Just gonna take a drink. There's a dying room. It's usually the basement or the attic, if I remember correctly. I wasn't sure what kind of person Mion's grandma was, but Rena's had to be different from hers. Looking carefully, I could see one mochi was made very neatly. That just by staring at it, the one I could tell stood out. Looks like the challenge depends on whether or not this one's Rena's. Calm down and think even harder. Mion had said her grandma made a ton of them and was told to give some out, if I remember correctly. So that meant 4 of these were from a large batch. Then what about Rena? She probably only made the one. She probably spent quite a bit of time on it. Meaning, the one Rena made is E! For a moment, I thought it may have been a trap Mion laid. She knew I'd pick up on it. But that probably wasn't the case. I wouldn't be sure if Mion had made it. Since she said Rena made it, it probably wasn't a trap. Alright, my tea is ready too. Let's start with the defending champion, Mion's grandma. Let's see. Nom 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 nom. Not bad. The smooth bean paste and soft, chewy texture left little to be desired. The tea I drank afterwards also accentuated the experience. This was an exquisite piece of work. Now how about Rena's? The creation was so delicate one would think it was a high-class Japanese dessert. Since I normally had quite the appetite, I was silently wondering about the size of the portion. But well, first a bite. This was quite a difficult one to judge, actually. The ingredients were the same, so there was little difference in flavour. What was different was how it was shaped at the end, so it was to be expected. So the deciding factor would be presentation and volume. Well-formed and well-sized champion versus Renner the challenger with a size you just couldn't get enough of. I'd only had one bite of Renner's. I would probably have to wait until after I was done eating to make my decision. Maybe there was something hidden inside that could cause an upset. Chew. Seems my prediction was right. My tongue touched something. It didn't feel like something edible, so I reached with my fingers and grabbed it. What? Before I could fully comprehend what it was, I threw away the rest of the mochi I was eating as fast as I could. I slammed it against the wall, causing the bean jar to splatter. Causing a bean jam jar? Bean jam jar. Then after sticking for a moment, it slid down to the floor. I was dumbstruck by my own actions. What was I doing? Renna had gone out of her way to make it for me. How could I? Dumbstruck, I looked down at the hand that performed the vile act. Then I remembered what I had taken out of my mouth. At first, I thought it was a hair. Even though it was shorter than Mion's, Renna's hair was still quite long. And it wasn't this short. It was also too hard to be hair. It was thick enough to roll around on my tongue. There was a bit of a metallic sheen on the end of it. Ah yeah, there was a hole for where the thread goes through. Like a sewing needle. Yeah, that's right. It looked very much like a sewing needle. Exactly like one. The end was pointed as well. Quite sharply. It really did look like a sewing needle. Huh? What did I mean by looked very much like a sewing needle just a bit ago? Oh, the denial is real. The denial is real. I couldn't answer. But a voice inside me already knew. And let me know by chattering my molars together. I couldn't stave off the terror welling up inside me. Suddenly I tasted something metallic and felt a prickling pain in the back of my throat. I stuck my fingers back into my mouth and felt around to see if I was bleeding. Suddenly I felt the urge to vomit. The sharp taste of bile irritated the back of my throat. I clasped both hands to my mouth, and after writhing in agony, I was somehow able to hold back the nausea. I was finally able to breathe normally again, but this time my heart was throbbing intensely. Then it finally registered. Exactly what was mixed with the mochi. Before I could think of the correct words, my hands were already on the move. Splat, plop, splot. I tossed the rest of the mochi against the wall. The geometrical patterns of the scattered bean jam on the wall suddenly invoked a terrible omen in my mind. After looking away, I dashed out the hall and flew up the stairs to my room, where I stayed under my covers until morning. That's why I said that there was a thing gonna happen next that I couldn't justify as childish behaviour. I will give you on that one. I can't justify that at all. But that is where we're gonna have to end the stream for today, I think. Save. Yes. With the mochi incident. Wow, my throat. Thank you everyone for coming! Yeah, I'm glad you stuck with it too, Fox. I'm excited to get to the rest of this. It's very good. But I'm not sure if I'll do it next week. 'Cause like I said, I've been rotating this with other stuff on Friday, so that I have a chance to just so I have the chance to stream other things for variety's sake. Actually, I think I will do this one next week, because next week's going to be a bit of a weird one, because I'm not going to stream Monday, Tuesday next week, because mainly because I need a rest, to be honest. As you can hear, I'm kind of coming down with a cold. I've been a bit tired. I want to avoid burnout, you know, the usual. But thank you everyone in the chat for coming. Thank you to anyone who lurked, and thank you to anyone who watches the VOD. I've had a lot of fun reading this, and I hope to have a lot more fun reading the rest. I'm glad we got the mod working, so we can now tell who's talking. And it's also 100% more dramatic as well with those CGs and stuff. It's very cool. I'm very excited to see what else this mod has in store for us. I wonder which moment will get shorted. Who knows? If you have not already, I would highly appreciate it if you could leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel. We are now heading up to 900 now, and 900 is the next what's the word, milestone. And you know what I'm going to do for that? I think I already said I was going to play Amnesia, so you're getting another spoopy game on 900, so I got to get there. Also, I have a book. I wrote a book, and you should go into the links in the description to be able to use that discount code in the corner for 10% off my first book. And you should look at my Patreon and my Kofi and all those wonderful things. Other than that, I hope you had a very good time. I had fun. I hope you had fun. Have a nice weekend. This has been Briny Rose Smith live in the Forbidden Library, and I'll see you on Sunday. Goodbye.